Come and get started on a new mission, a new direction, a new intention. Welcome to 5.8G Alive at Connections 50 Plus. I am Terry-Ann Joseph Brathwaite.
And I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, catering to all your prospects in the third act of life.
Economic well-being, social gratification, personal fulfillment.
Join us on Wednesday at 6 p.m. on Connections 50 Plus Facebook page, YouTube channel,
and on Gael the Caribbean.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Connections 50 Plus 5.8G Alive. I am Jennifer Gibbons Joseph, one of the co-creators of 50 Plus, and as usual, with me is my colleague.
Hi, everyone. I am Terry-Ann Joseph Brathwaite, the other co-creator of Connections 50 Plus, bringing you 5.8G Alive this Wednesday evening.
And folks, we are celebrating Trinidad and Tobago independence. We started last week with our show. We continue in this week because independence is on Sunday. So yes, so we had Terry-Ann. I'm still smiling. I'm all excited, a bit tired, but so happy about our independence soirée. And that was held, of course, last Sunday, the 24th. So, Terry-Ann, we have to tell them all about this fantastic time we had and our guests had, at the soirée.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great independence event, a real Connections 50 Plus style event. You know, the old time tea party and fashion show with a modern swing. And it was just entertaining, cozy. We have to really thank you, our loyalists, our traditional following us, who get and understand what we are trying to project at Connections 50 Plus. Because when we have events, we really want to create a space where people can come, feel free, feel safe, and as a result, just have a great time. And, Jennifer, we could plan the best event, but if people don't come with the mindset to enjoy the event, it will fall flat. And I think everybody was of the same mind on Sunday.
Well, let me start with our decor. Wow. Listen, that was really true. As you walk in, that red, white, and black theme. Our tablecloth. Well, you always see it in our photos when we share it. We should be able to share some photos, after the show or during the show. It is really, that started with a real welcome. You felt very welcome. And then, Terry-Ann, because of the venue, that venue was just ideal for that tea party and fashion show. I was sorry. Because when, you have to walk up the steps to enter into the venue. And, stood up at the top of the steps. So there was you had Mark, of course, receiving guests also. And watching our guests walk up these steps, Terry-Ann, I say it like the train, dressed to kill. Every single person looked fantastic. And again, we have to thank you all for keeping on. We did ask, we asked for you all to dress in your red, white, and black, any combo that you wanted to. And boy, you all did it. And Terry-Ann, walking up the steps, reaching to the top with that, everyone had a smile on their face, let me tell you. So yes, I agree with you. They came very, very happy with all intentions of having fun and to enjoy the evening proceedings. That I am sure of.
Definitely. Definitely. And I think too, in terms of creating an experience. It is so important because yes, the venue wows you. You come up on the impact of the red, white, and black. I mean, our colors are, last week we talked about the colors of the flag and the significance of it, but they really, really help to do that. But I think we have to commend Richard Young. Richard as host, because the Young Guild hosted us. And that whole sense of let's come out and show our style. There was none better to encourage us, flatter us, give us some props and some tips than Richard Young. And the fashion show that he and Dominic LaRoche curated for us, I mean, there's a choice of styles. They really knew they were dealing with us, our cohort. It was hip, it was trendy. Everybody, there was so many oohs and ahs. People thought, yes, I could wear that. There was nothing presented that we couldn't wear. And then, of course, we were not to be outdone by models because, geez and ages, when our model fashionistas get up off their seats.
I mean, really a joy, eh? And to see that so many of them came out. You know, we said, okay, we want volunteers. Come model for us, show off your outfits. But they were, listen, Terry-Ann, they walked, smiled, what they say, sashay down the runway like experts, all beautifully dressed. The accessories were just on point. It was, to me, I would say, it was just fabulous. You know, a great, great show with our cohort.
Yeah, definitely. I really, and again, thank you, followers, for coming out in style. You know, it's so important for us to express ourselves and to give ourselves permission to be beautiful, to dress up, to come out, and to even more show that beauty off to your colleagues. You realize I didn't say show off to your colleagues, huh? Show that beauty off and share it with your colleagues, which is what was happening. And the way that people cheered and supported everyone based on their style and based on how they presented, it was so supportive, so encouraging, and so much fun.
You know, it's a great feeling, Terry-Ann, when you leave home dressed for a function, an event like this. So we said, this is the team. So you really dress for this particular occasion. So you look in the mirror and you leave home and you're feeling good about yourself. And when you get there, to be able to just model because you're feeling good. And even, whether you model or not, the compliments, every single person there receive a compliment. If it's not while they're walking, as they walk in, as they sat there, as they got up for anything, you must say, wow, they look good. The styles were fantastic, from very extravagant to simple to, I mean, they were just great.
Simple
And
elegance. Simple elegance, definitely.
it's simple, not just simple, but as you say, simply elegant. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, our food, I will always look at that. Simply CC outdid themselves as usual. And everyone had a great time with our specially curated chili box with all the pilau, the plantain and cassava balls, the okra, the shadow belly chicken skewers, the corn and macaroni pie, the garlic aioli and the shadow belly dressing, and then that beautiful pack with the local fruits. You know, Jennifer, sugar cake, fudge, and tamarind balls. But somehow they weren't ridiculously sweet. I had a whole pack for breakfast this morning.
Trini style, really, well, it's a Trinbagonian style of sweets. Really, really, they were great. And listen, you notice it's not just one tamarind ball you got, two. So it was really a nice package. It was done nicely by her, and everything, as you say, curated really nicely
Yeah.
and fantastic.
And then what I also loved is how well and how much, once you get into a place and it's then created for you. So much participation, We had tables participating in karaoke, participating in creating toast to the nation, coming up with words that we wanted to wish the nation well, wishing our nation well. And it just was so very satisfying and rewarding. We dressed up, we showed up, we eat, we drink, we had a good time, and then wished our nation well. Ah, it was really, really good.
And touch on your nice drinks. The sorrel, the sorrel and the moby, the fruit
And the
punch.
fruit
Oh,
punch.
it as I say, it went down well, you know.
Definitely, 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 definitely. So, those of you who unfortunately we couldn't accommodate because we were sold out, the venue was sold out. Next time, well, I don't think we want to move to another venue because Richard Young was such a wonderful host. We may have to have a part one and a part two. Or no tables and chairs, just have cocktail tables with chairs. But definitely, definitely, this was a lovely, lovely, lovely event. And we really have to thank all of you because we could put on the best event, we could put all the logistics in place, but if you don't show up, it doesn't matter. Yeah. And if when you show up, we can't host you properly, it still doesn't matter. So as we say, just as Jennifer and I are collaboration, you are the other part of it, and we totally, totally love doing it. I really had a great time yesterday. Really had a great time.
We did celebrate independence. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So hopefully, not hopefully, definitely you would receive all hopefully we'll have all the pictures and some of the videos, some of them that you will see on this, but next week's show, which will be right after Independence, this is the Wednesday before Independence, we'll still be in time to share a lot of the sing-alongs and the fashion show and the strutting and the designing and we had a special a special attendee who showed us rubber talk and spoken word and all of that. So we had craft makers, we had designers, people who came out and talked about what they do. Ah, that I loved. I really, really love that, Jennifer.
It's fantastic. Terry Ann, you know what was also great that it showed that they all, how should I put it, very patriotic, understood that yes, we are celebrating independence. It not just dressed the part. Of course, we sang the national anthem, before the official proceedings. We did that. And that was, as I said, the respect that was paid to us standing there singing the national anthem. And when you ask each table to say that word and how they felt,
We toasted the nation. Mm-hmm.
yeah, that toast, that for me was very significant and very powerful.
Mm-hmm. As we say, you could argue and fuss amongst yourself about economics, social issues, politics, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, we are Trinidad and Tobago. And I think for all the Caribbean countries that look at us, there's an immense sense of pride and independence. And we get together. We get together. And we love getting together. So We will continue to give you opportunities to come together and to have a great time. And we have such a good time doing it too. So we will see so much more of the celebrations next week, but you'll have a sneak peek today of the early picks. So until then, we will get into our tribe and talk more about being social. Okay.
Karen, we just spoke about, how much fun we had at the soiree. And that brought us you know, to the topic about the joy of being social. I always say I love to socialize. I am so happy when I'm out there meeting and greeting people and just enjoying whatever function that I attend. Um, I see for me, it does a lot for my wellness too. It does a lot for my psyche. I feel very, it's a stress release for me. Let me put it that way. And after I go out, when I go out and I get back home, I just feel that sense of joy. I relax and I just give thanks for being able to be out there and, meeting new people and just enjoying life. So that is important for me. And so that brings me that the joy of being social, it may not be applicable to everybody, but I believe definitely at our stage in life, on this third act stage, I think it is key, I should say, to prevent that loneliness, you know? So yeah, being, let's look at that, do you think that this is applicable to most people, that they really enjoy going out there and socializing?
Yeah, the joy of being social, before we say enjoy going out there and being amongst others, I think it is critical. We are social beings. Depending on the way your faith goes, how you perceive humankind began, whether it is Adam and Eve, whether it is on the Christian front, whether it is the evolution of animals, individuals. At no point in our evolutionary history were human beings alone. We were never loners roaming the earth. We always in a cluster, in a group. So we are meant to be social people. We meant to be with others. We meant to have each other's company, to talk through ideas, to talk about what happened today, to talk about what we wish and hope for tomorrow, to talk about things we fear, talk about things we enjoy, and then to share a laugh. And I think those are inherent parts of being alive. And when the ability to share like that is missing from your life, you get into a condition called loneliness. And if it goes too far, it goes into depression. And if that goes too far, all kinds of things could happen to you. So being social is so very important, Jennifer. And that's why one of the pillars of Connections 50 Plus is being in a tribe, because for many in our cohort, the ability to mix and mingle with people that you love, whether it is relatives or friends, is compromised, is lost because of death, sickness, illness, moving, and things like that. And Jennifer, we suffer greatly when we cannot be social. So I think first, before we can appreciate the joy of being social, we have to understand how very important it is for us to be social, be sociable, and to recognize that it's not easy if your natural tribe has been separated or gone away or things like that. What do you think of that?
That I understand because you talk to people, or I may call a friend and say, let's do something. And they may say that, you know what, I can't go out anymore, I haven't been out for a while because, there's just sometimes maybe your spouse is no longer around, or for whatever reason, they themselves, don't feel joyful again going out, you know. But I agree with you. If we allow ourselves to stay home and not go out, not because that we cannot, it's because we do not want to, because we sort of give up. I remember not remember yesterday, um talking to a friend, just checking out how her sister going, etc. And she told me, she don't go anywhere again, She finally reached a stage, where am I going out again? They're no longer comfortable, going out. And she was telling me, she said, girl, I am not taking on, I like going out. I have a friend could go with. And if I can't, dependent, she said she chooses where she goes. And yeah. So I believe sometimes, not sometimes, many times when people choose to remain at home, it's because they feel that they won't be comfortable making new friends, going out by themselves. Or I think that is the to me the greatest fear, that not being comfortable, when they go, that they won't enjoy themselves the way they used to before. But I believe if you choose the places, you know what you like. People know what they really like. And you choose those events to attend to meet your likings, then it's a way to start.
Yeah.
But it's better to do that than to sit at home and just give up. You
Yeah.
know?
I agree with you. I don't believe anybody makes a decision. I don't feel like going out no more. And the crime and the this and the that, and I have no friends and I have nobody to go with and so on. I think while those are real issues that people face, I don't believe anybody makes that decision and is happy with that state of affairs. It represents you have to tolerate it. You have to make a situation tolerable because you don't have people to go with, or you don't have the means, the financial means to take yourself out and be entertained, or you might not be able to pay the price of admission, or you feel that probably because of how you were before, you don't have the clothes, you can't present yourself in the way that you would want because your image is involved and all those kinds of things. You may have physically changed because you are ill, whatever the in our program on Sunday, Richard talked about his model who attended his confidence building program, who was an amputee and had her prosthetic legs and refused to look at herself in a full leg mirror. She just kept looking from the chest up, and brought her to the point where she could look at her entire self and accept it. I think most people who decide unless you're a hermit by nature and you decide you're not going anywhere and you're happy staying home, I think it's a forced decision. I think most people want to go out and be with other people. But Jennifer, I think we tell half the story when we look at the price of admission, when we look at whether I have clothes, and when we look at do I have friends to go to. Because one of the things that I am very proud of us and the way Connections 50 Plus manages our affairs is that I think people have a reason that they decided I'm not going again. And it is because many people have lost the art of hosting and plain hospitality. For too many events, once I pay my money and I reach, there's not a lot of attention to your comfort to make you welcome. And I'm not talking about big, big, big 1,000 people events where that might be difficult. But I'm talking about little events. People don't, after I get you there, they don't think about and proactively cater to your comfort and your well-being to make you feel safe, to make you feel welcome, to make you feel happy that you are there. And I think as the opportunities for those kinds of events dwindle, people kind of make up their mind, well, I ain't going anywhere because after I pay my money, what? I'm still alone, so I might as well not go and save some money.
Let me go back a bit to the fact that in some cases, people might say, oh, I don't have money, or I don't have clothes, or I don't have. They have a lot of activities they can do. You don't have to be in a big crowd, it don't have to be a big event where it's not required, it's free. They do have the events that you can go to, or maybe just the beach thing where it's very low cost. And last week we spoke about, the PTSC, trips to know your country, tours, etc., etc. So there are, you can decide what it is you like to do, and there are places you can go. But yes, and the other thing, Terry-Ann, before I touch on the point you made there about, how you receive when you go to these events, is that, we talk about not, there isn't sufficient activities for our age group. And that is all the reason sometimes you hear why our cohort may not be socializing as they should, because that may be that is a reason that they give. I don't totally agree with that, but the point there is I'm bringing it back to being comfortable when they go out, right? We attend events, and I love socializing, so there are many events that I will go to, and yes, you don't feel that warmth. You're not in that environment. You sit and you said, what am I doing here? I feel like if I'm out of place. So I believe we, whoever, us who hosting events, should be very careful or mindful, I should say, about the comfort of your guests. That we should really pay more attention as to, okay, this is a grouping. We normally, you could say, look at you normally attract. So at Connections 50 Plus, we focus, of course, on those at the third stage, second stage, going on to third stage, 50 plus people. And when we do our event, that is so much, I don't know if it's because we are that age group, So we understand very well what would make us happy, what would make us comfortable, what would make the event a memorable experience, that we do things that, you know, to create that atmosphere for people to be happy. And I cannot say, Terry Ann, from going to other events, it may not be targeted to particularly to 50 plus, but it's a general type of event that everyone could enjoy. But many times I don't get that sense, that welcoming feeling. You know, I am enjoying because I have that personality to just have fun, don't care where I go. And if I'm not, I just leave. So I agree with you that is something we should focus on more, especially those who host in the events.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that I would say is, okay, we are a small cohort. We are fixed income in large respect. So yes, there is a limit to what we will pay to go into an event and how often we will go. But one of the things I want us to think about is we can have our own events. We can get together because, all right, you are at this stage of life and your social circle is probably shrinking. It's a reality. Whatever has caused it to shrink has caused it to shrink. And we look out to other places that probably are not catering to us. But we come back again to community. We are a tribe. One of the things as people talk, people tell us after our events, oh my God, this is so much work. This must have been so hard. This was, you all must be so tired. And you know, Jennifer, we were talking, and you know, I look at our to-do list in terms of putting these events together. And all right, they're telling you some of the secrets. But there really isn't a lot of after you decide on the caterer and you make sure that your food going to be on point and good, and you decide on your selection of drinks, and then you decide how is the audience going to be entertained. So on our soiree, we had our caterer, Simply CC, put aside. We knew the quality that would come. We knew we were focusing on local drinks, and those were organized. And then we were at the Young Girl with Richard talking about style and things like that. But Jennifer, we also know that was not enough because none of those events cater to the individual. And I think the thing that many people miss in events, and the thing that many people look at and say is probably work, is the fact that we really do care to take care of every person that is there, talk to them, ask them how they're feeling, what they want, bring them into the whole experience, and we are truly joyful that they are there. And we are happy to have them there and let them know we're happy to have them there and talk to them and find out how can we make it better for you. Jennifer, I think a lot of people are just not interested in the people who come to their events after they take the ticket from them. And this is why when we go to events, we sort of say, all right, the person singing, but after the person sing, I look to my left, I look to the right. I mean, who did I give my money to? What am I doing? And that is why I think, we need to, the concept of the long time house party. You felt as though I knew where I was and whoever was hosting me in very tangible ways welcomed me, greeted me, and stayed with me on the to me throughout the event. And I think that is the thing that people say, oh gosh, this must be so hard. You all must be work so much, Chandra talking to you. You know? And really it wasn't. And it is the thing that might be missing. What do you think?
Terry Ann, I would say one, let me talk about me. I started a career dealing with people, right? And in sales. And I remember in training, and my manager said, if you don't like people, then this job is not for you. You know, you really have to love people, be interested in their welfare and their future to be a success. And that always stayed with me. And I totally agreed with that statement because I believe that was the main, let's say ingredients that made me a success. Taking that into what we do now, it's the same thing. I believe our success or events start with us loving people and want them to be happy, and especially our cohort. This is where we are. And we started Connections 50 Plus because we wanted our cohort, we wanted people 50 plus to really enjoy the stage they're on. So when we plan our events, I would say it very boldly, we plan it with love. That is number one ingredient, love. And with that love, we think, of course, okay, we know our audience. And because, as I said before, we within this cohort, we know what we want. We know what we want to, how we want to feel when we go out. We want that safe space. We want that happy space. We want to be entertained in a certain way. We want to be very comfortable. We want to be embraced, not feeling that we are just left in a corner. And we want that very happy, happy vibe. And that's what we do. I think with us, because we share that same vision, that when we do our plan and we put it together, for us, we're not working, we happy, you know, because every step of the way we do it thinking of, okay, we want, as you said, this caterer will provide ideally what we want for this particular event. All right. We look at the venue, we look at who will co-host with us, all these different things. And yes, it is not hard work for us because this is, we laugh all the way along if we, when we're making our plans. But we know at the end of it, we could envision this is what's going to happen. We want a very happy, vibrant group of people really enjoying themselves.
Yeah, yeah. And it is not so much that we are having this discussion tooting our horn about our events, but the topic is the joy of being social. And we really do want to remind our cohorts that don't fall into this place of, well, I don't go out anymore. That is not normal. It is not healthy. It is not good for you. It works against longevity. It works against your mental wellness and wholeness. It is shutting down that part of your brain and your mind that thrives on being in company with others, talking to another person, asking another person a question, and being asked a question so you can tell somebody how you feel. Those are the things that help us to build our quality of life, help us to feel relevant, help us to feel like we matter, help us to feel like there is purpose and a point of being around, help us to laugh and be happy. So when we get to the place where we say, I don't go out anymore, or I have nobody to go out with, I think we are contributing to shortening our lives. But we also have a responsibility to, if the society is not catering to us, we have to get proactive and create our own events.
And let me also say this. When we planning, as you know, it's different type of events. Not all events you have to dress up and come out. We had like we very casual the river line for those who like going out by the river and just relaxing, or who've never been by the river and this was the first that was the first experience for them. We do a lot of different different things, so you can fit in to whatever aspect that you like.
Yeah, that is a very valid point. And I want to say that we may have one event a quarter, but that can't be the only event you go to. And also, our events will not cater to the bulk of us because we always make sure that the location, the capacity, the catering can be something we can manage. And I'm saying that it is important for us when we start hearing ourselves say, I ain't bothering to go nowhere. It's too much trouble. It's too much what. Then get it into your mind and think, what will I enjoy doing? What do I want to do? And create your own event. It's not going to be expensive. It's not going to be difficult. It just requires a bit of boldness in saying, I want to make myself happy and I want to please myself. So I am going to create something. And we talk about our partnership, Jennifer. This will not happen if either of us is not here. It will shut down. In the same way. Yeah.
Supposed to go where we suggested, and it started where you can call up a friend, and make a suggestion. Or if you're going, you're not even a friend. We even encourage our tribe to contact each other in terms of if you want to go somewhere and you don't have company, you can check and see who else going and make arrangement to go as a group. If not as a group, just a few of you, it could be two or three, who like the same type of activity, and you could get together with that. So reach out. So that's the other way, and we before, and we gave suggestions as how that can be done to help you, get out more.
And I will add one thing to it. That presumes that there's probably something going on that you're looking to get somebody to go to. You will know somebody who decide I ain't going anywhere either. The two of you all by both your lonesome selves sit down together and say, all right, Jennifer, long time I ain't go anywhere. I want to do something. And Jennifer, you might say, girl, me too. You all come up with what you want to do. Come up. It might be something as simple as I want to go and take a walk in a nice place. What is the nice place? Long time I go to the beach. Let's take the bus and go Maracas. The bus carrying you Maracas and it bringing you back in time to take the taxi to go back home before the sun go down. Get together and decide to do something, because the joy of being social, the joy there, I don't think it is about being happy and laughing and stuff like that. I think that is a life and that is you. If you stop being social and you retreat into yourself, you will shorten your life, because you are going to be denying yourself a very important aspect of being human, which is being with other people, interacting with people. That's the way you learn. That's the way you relieve stress. That's the way you build happiness. And we cannot just sit down and because the world has not catered to us, give into it and say, well, I pull it back. No. I don't care if you have a walking stick and a wheelchair. You know,
As long in good health, you can, you
even
have
if you're
friends.
in poor health, even if you're in poor health, arrange something to suit.
Oh, yeah, I'm agreeing with you there. You could arrange to meet your needs.
Definitely, definitely. So we talk about the joy of being social, and you go to Dr. Google, and why does Dr. Google say you need to be social? It reduces stress, anxiety, depression. They say it improves your cognitive function, stave off dementia. If you're interacting with people and you're talking, you could avoid dementia. It helps with memory because the more you talk to people and you ask, what about this? You practice memorizing things and people could check it. You remember that? Yes, I remember it. That is how it happened. As you said, Jennifer, the telling of stories, the passing
Yeah.
on of stories. If you're doing that by yourself, they have a word for that. They say mad. But all of those things have biological effects in that it helps the hormone levels, the happiness hormones, the depressing hormones. So this joy of being social is directly linked to the quality of your life, and we cannot treat it as something that is, we could give it up. No, we can't.
Yeah.
you know? So we really want you to, we are happy that so many of you all came to our event. We are happy that we had such a great time. We know we can't accommodate everyone every time, but we also are very, very aware that it is not that we don't want to go out. It is that there isn't there aren't many options that will cater to our needs, will make us comfortable, safe, and have a good time. And I'm saying that that is not a good enough reason to not participate. I'm saying create an event for two and don't ever give up on being social. That is a death sentence. Not so, Jennifer.
I endorse that. As I said, I like going out there. I like being social, and it's definitely, all the things you read out there from Dr. Google, I'm in agreement with. It has, in my general health, it has made a big difference, you know? So, yeah, go
Definitely.
out there
Yeah.
and just be happy with whatever you want to do.
Yeah. And if it's really bad and you don't know anybody and you just feel that I have joy that I need to share, go and take a visit to the hospital during visiting hours and make somebody who doesn't have a visitor happy. You might get to hear one interesting life story. Just ask the nurse in the ward who needs a visit.
Yep.
It might sound strange, but I think this is a very, very serious topic, Jennifer. And we look at social as being a party or something, but social
Not
could be one-on-one. It could be one-on-one. It could be a phone call. And Mr. Zoom and Mr. FaceTime and Mr. WhatsApp video, it helps in some way, but we've got to get outside and be face to face with people. That's critical. If we don't do that, we are going to be in serious, serious trouble.
I think, when you do that, when you stay inside all the time, you don't even know what you're missing, Terry-Ann? And then you tend to just, as you say, go into depression, complain, nobody cares, all the negatives that you come up with within your head. So try it, for especially those who have sort of given up and think that there's make no sense going out. Make that effort, and do something different.
Definitely. So, tribe, don't forget the joy of being social. It's not a little trivial thing. It's a life-sustaining thing. So that is great. That's our being in tribe. So, Jennifer, this weekend is Independence for Trinidad and Tobago. So, red, white, and black. Carifesta is going on, and I see we making ruction in Carifesta in Barbados. The Caribbean is having a good time, and Trinidad is celebrating independence. So, we want to wish Trinidad and Tobago, all of our people at home here and abroad, happy independence. It's not easy being an independent nation, Jennifer. We go through ups and downs, but I think we're doing well.
Normally, I love to celebrate independence. So every Independence Day, I go with two friends and we go to the popular brunch, Independence brunch. That we attend one of the steel bands that have it. So I am looking forward to that tradition, to attending that Independence brunch. That's how I celebrate independence.
Nice, nice, nice. Well, I'm going to miss our independence. I'm not going to be here on Independence Day, but I will still have a great time singing my national anthem and waving my little flag and being thankful that I am a Trinidadian, born and grown this place. And of course, Trinbagonian. I know that I say Trinidadian a lot. And I hope my Tobagonian brothers and sisters understand that you are very much a part of me, as I hope you think that we are a part of you. So, really, everyone, just let's continue enjoying and loving our country and building our nation. And we will end with this special greeting from our gathering at this soiree, as they toasted the nation and wished everyone a happy, happy independence. 63 years old, Trinidad and Tobago. So we go out with them and wish you happy independence. So bye.
50 Plus Tribe and follow us from Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean.
Thank you for joining us on this Connections 50 Plus 5.8G Alive show.
We hope you enjoyed the lively conversation and look forward to seeing you next week.
Don't forget to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We really love getting your feedback. Bye for now.